Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today, it is Tuesday, April 22nd. We're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. GALA, sitting at 1.6 cents. GALA token currently ranked 79th out of all 30 million cryptos in existence. Look at that all-time chart. GALA is sitting down there at a low, man. Yeah, it's up 1,000% all-time. But you know what? It has some room to run. The previous all-time high was around 75 cents, CoinMarketCap reports. There were buy orders happening on Bitrue for 80 cents back when this peaked. It's gone all the way down from that all-time high all the way down to 1.3 pennies. We're at 1.6 now. But the big deal with GALA is everything happening in the background. And this is from dang near a month ago. Look at this. GALA Film says, we're teaming up with LG to bring the future of streaming to your smart TV. With GALA Film, fans can watch free content, unlock exclusive scenes, and own iconic moments. Coming soon to LG smart TVs. So that was in March. They said they were building this app. Okay, a Web3 app for LG's smart TVs. That'll reach over 240 million screens. And then in April, this month, GALA Games has partnered with LG officially. Life's good, dude. And then we have Unknown. And who knows to what extent this is true. And at the end of April, LG has partnered with Microsoft Xbox. I think something big is coming on GALA Games. It was always said that GALA would be a platform which had AAA games. And then Benefactor said that we would have movies on the big screen. And to be honest, I think that being on an LG web app might be bigger than the big screen to start. Now, I know I talk about not going bottom up. I don't know if having a LG web app and going into the homes of 240 million is bottom up. I think that that's coming top down. You went through one of the biggest players, LG. You know, the only other options would have been Sony. Could have gone through Sony, and maybe they will. Maybe that'll be the next one. How much different is a Sony web app than an LG app? How much different is the Roku web app than the LG app? They have to be pretty similar, man. You're telling me GALA is not going to be on all the Roku TVs soon? I think it will. LG is just the start. People are going to like what they see. I was talking to somebody on the channel about this the other day, about the price of a GALA music NFT. Yeah, they're pegged at $100. You can even find a Snoop Dogg track on there for $200 if you're really looking hard. And the earnings don't really keep up with that price right now at this price point. But I told him, listen, the way I see it is if I could have owned a piece of the soundtrack from Kill Bill, every time you watched the movie or listened to the song, I earned a royalty because that song was streamed. $100 would have been a drop in a pan. I would have done that in a heartbeat. It's all about finding value in the sea of opportunity, in the vast sea that is crypto. Okay? There's a ton of projects going on in crypto. There's 30 million cryptos. I think that GALA is a legit ecosystem, man. I really think it is. We have GALA Music, GALA Film, and GALA Games, and they all complement each other because every game has aspects of film and music. Every good game that's a AAA game has writers. It has a storyline. It's not just some BS, even though some of the best games are BS. What's that goat game where you just walk around and you're just getting hit as a goat? You know, no storyline there. And then look at this. We have this from the White House. They said, shout out to GALA Games for designing the digital White House egg hunt game, a modern touch on timeless tradition that kept kids engaged. White House Easter egg roll.
Right, crypto, kids, and the commander-in-chief all in one Easter basket today. My guest is tech titan Eric Schiermeier. His company GALA Games just became the first crypto company to partner with the White House for their Easter egg roll today. You might know Eric as the guy who co-founded MySpace, helped bring us Farmville and Words with Friends, but now he's planting his flag in the blockchain world with GALA Games and making history. So what does this mean for the future of digital assets, and how does the Biden administration stack up against Trump when it comes to crypto? Eric's got the inside scoop. Why is it such a big moment for the crypto industry?
It's nothing like this has ever happened, first of all. And having endured 4 years of assault on our entire industry, this is finally seeing sunshine. We've been in the darkness for 4 years now. It's been incredibly difficult, and now all of a sudden we have an administration who's supportive of what we're trying to do and the ways that this could really change the world for the better.
Yeah, what are you trying to do? Describe GALA Games for those who are unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, so GALA Games is a lot more than just games, actually. We started with games because we thought that would be the most obvious use case for crypto, but we branched out into music. We worked with a lot of different musical acts around the world. We actually make films as well. Most recently, though, we thought, well, with the Trump administration leaning into crypto, why don't we do whatever we can? I was very inspired by what Elon was doing, and I thought, okay, let's go all in on government. Let's add a layer of transparency, or let's bring this technology to the government and see what we can do. So we've been making efforts to make ourselves available in whatever way we can. Frankly, this is the time. This is crypto 2.0. This is like nothing we've ever seen. I can't tell you how many conversations I've been having with people in the government, people in local government, state government, other countries. Suddenly, crypto is a place to be. It's incredible.
Gala Games is all about like decentralization and creator empowerment, right? So how do you reconcile that ethos with partnering with a centralized institution like the federal government?
Our belief is that transparency really is something I think the founding fathers would have been very supportive of. If it was possible at that time, I think they would have implemented a blockchain to support things like freedom of speech or the Treasury Department, for example. Like so knowing where your tax dollars are going, I think is absolutely not only in alignment with the crypto ethos, but what our entire nation was founded upon in the first place. And so there's got to be some rational limits to data and privacy. I don't think everyone wants everything about them, on a blockchain that's completely public. So you have to like balance that a little bit. But I think there's a lot of room to play with here. A lot of transparency, I think, would bring a lot more trust.
And Benefactor tweeted a few times about this. He said, check it out. GALA is partnering with the White House alongside the likes of Meta, Amazon NYCE, and others in this White House Easter egg roll this year. This is a crypto first that I'm honored to participate. What a radical shift in policy towards blockchain and crypto. Crypto 2.0 is just around the corner. We never stop believing and intend on leading the way. Now, what's funny about this is that while Biden was in office, after the SEC sued Ripple, GALA kind of went into shut the doors mode. GALA shut the doors and boarded up the windows, and none of their games came out, and the token price stagnated, and the nodes were said, hey, we're not investments, none of our NFTs are investments, and people were frustrated by this. People really were. I kind of foresaw this as one of the options, and this is something that people said, but of course when you're sitting there for 4 years, it sucks to even have to say it. But GALA was waiting out the regulators, man. Who wants to be sued by the SEC? They didn't want to be next on the line underneath Ripple, and there always is somebody next. The SEC turned around and they sued Coinbase, didn't they? They're always turning around and finding somebody else to come after. And GALA didn't want to be that player, man. And so they survived. The Eye of Mordor was looked at them for a second, fucking turned and looked somewhere else. All right. And now GALA's at the White House doing the Easter egg roll hunt. Come on. Benefactor and Elon. And Eric Schermeyer says GALA is ready to help with transparency. Elon Musk, GALA chain is tested and stands ready to serve. Dude, think about that. We're having a draft these days, but it's not a draft of the people. It's a draft of the blockchain companies that American citizens have built. Raise your hand if you're ready to serve, dude. Come on. And so underneath this photo, Benefactor retweeted this. Somebody said, very cool. What are the chances you think the FDA will utilize a blockchain for transparency and efficiency? Would be awesome if GALA chain could be used to solve inefficiencies there. This was retweeted by Benefactor. What does it mean, man? Benefactor sees that as a use case. Somebody else said underneath this picture at Elon, they said DOGE needs to team up with GALA in order to achieve and improve transparency. Everything needs to be on the blockchain, man. All government spending should be on chain, all right? Voting needs to be on chain. It needs to be fucking instant. We shouldn't have to wait days and days for voting results to come back. Listen, when you put a Scantron test in the machine, it reads the test results. There's no downtime on the Scantron machine. All right, you remember Scantron from school, filling out the little bubbles. You can't half circle them. You can't cross them out. You got a full circle. We don't need to even do it on paper, man. We could do it on blockchain. Your social security number could be tied to the people blockchain. I've talked about this before. That could be on the GALA chain, okay? Anything is possible with the power of technology. Anything is possible. We talked about this yesterday. We're in the era now where 10 years is the new 100 years. We've made it. We've reached a place where technology is growing so exponentially that 10 years is the new 100 years. In 10 years, we will not recognize the place that we are right now because it's going to be so much better, so much more efficient. I don't think we're going to be trillions of dollars in debt, and I don't think American citizens are going to be living as close to the grain as we are now because we have the money, man. USA is one of the richest nations on earth, but per person, we're not. It's because we've been robbed dry, and of course, I'm playing crypto because I believe in taking care of myself. I believe in taking care of my family. I'm not relying on anybody. I've been playing XRP for 8 years, and I recommend you do the same, man. I've been playing GALA games for 5 years. They have these nodes. They have one of the biggest node deep-in ecosystems in crypto. Over 25,000 people are actively running the nodes. So this says that GALA has a circulating supply of 44 billion GALA. I thought it was 38. I thought that there was total 38 billion GALA. So it shows you what I know. But it says that we have a 24-hour trading volume of 116 million, a market cap of 709 million. GALA Music's a fun place. We saw that GALA, the parent company, the first of the 3 tokens to come out, it has 44 billion in circulating supply, potentially 38. But either way, GALA Music and GALA Film both have 1 billion. And they're both ranked in the top 3,500 tokens versus the top 100 tokens. All right, so GALA Music is sitting at 1.2 cents. Not too far off price-wise from GALA, but the market cap is sitting at 1.78 million with the 24-hour trading volume of 1.38 million. And we see that the film price is 1.4. So all these assets are sitting in a similar range right now between 1 penny and 2 pennies. They're all ranked in the top 3,500 tokens out of 30 million. Of course, GALA has a big market cap of 770 million. But GALA Film, man, market cap of 1.7 mil. This says that the max supply for film is only 500 million. I disagree. I thought the max supply was 1 billion, just like music. In any sense, the point is that the GALA ecosystem is going to run. GALA Film coming to TVs near you, man. What does that mean? You get to watch shows for free, but if you want, you could buy NFT scenes on GALA Film, and then as other people watch, you earn royalties on that scene as it's watched. What the fuck? This is a big project, man. And this is what I'm saying about plugged in players is like, you know, anybody can make a meme coin, anybody can print a JPEG NFT, but to say, hey, we're gonna go after a piece of the music industry, we're gonna go after a piece of film, we're gonna go after a piece of the video game landscape, that's insane. Dude, that's a big fucking bite these guys took. And I know we like to talk about XRP, Algo, HBar, these tokens going after trillion, quadrillion dollar use cases. And if you were to add up the entire film industry, the entire video game industry, and the entire music industry, it might be worth $1 trillion annually altogether. But we just looked at the market cap for all these tokens, man. We just looked at the market cap for GALA Games, GALA Film, and GALA Music. They're all very low compared to $1 trillion. Altogether, they add up to like 775 million. If GALA were to get some users playing a AAA game on their blockchain, if they were to start helping the government with efficiency and transparency, there are so many ifs that you can spitball. But the thing is that when you have money to buy developers and when you have money to buy favor, the likes of Snoop Dogg, to get into a White House Easter egg roll, that goes a long ways. I can't do that. I can't build anything and then garner that type of attention. Hey, if you're going on GALA Music to check it out, you want to know which artists to check out? It's like a big place, right? They got a bunch of artists. Where should you go to? Check out the Robot Clinic, man. Check out Allie M and Love Crumbs. She has some solo work under her own name, Allie M. She has some work with her band Love Crumbs as well. Great music, man. All right, great music. Go check out Northwest Stories. Go check out JP Cali Smooth. There are so many good artists, man. Go check out Tahani. So many good artists on GALA Music. I'm a big fan, man. I really am. I enjoy buying NFTs, which provide me royalties in the future. Like I said, if you could buy an NFT, whether it be a song from the show Kill Bill, or whether it be a scene from the show Kill Bill, I would do it. I would do it. And if you didn't know Quentin Tarantino, would you be willing to spend the money on an NFT? You might have to warm up to the idea. I know. You might have to warm up to the idea. But that's the thing is if you're ahead of the curve, it seems scary. And if you're behind the curve, you're going to be late and you're going to feel FOMO. So either way, there's going to be fear. You're either going to have the fear of missing out once it's already struck because you did miss out, or you're going to have the fear that it's just not going to happen because you're there early. Being early to the party is scary in crypto. Dude, the summer of pain, 2019 for XRP, it sucked. That's why it was the summer of pain. All summer, XRP was 17 cents. And then we had the flash crash, the day where XRP went down to 11 cents. You know who was still making videos, man? Blockchain backer. Digital asset investor, Kevin Cage, the Bearable Bull. They were there every day, man. Satoshi Boomin was there. He was talking about VeChain. I enjoyed all these guys, man. I really did. And I listened to them ad nauseum to the point where I felt as though I knew enough about these assets. I knew I couldn't play all the tokens, man. And so I decided to miss some. I decided to miss a VeChain. Sometimes you gotta miss one. If we're showing up to a party, I mean, how many parties could you show up to in a night? You're trying to have a good time, man. You're here for a good time, not a long time. And what, you're gonna sell yourself short because you gotta go to multiple parties? You can only focus on so much. You can only have so many wallets. And yeah, you could stack it all in one ledger, but doesn't that add risk if everything is in one place? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that VeChain's probably great. I think it's probably gonna go on to do great things. I'll probably make a video about it, you know? I mean, I don't have any problem with VeChain. I know I've talked before about how they're doing supply chain tracking in crypto as well, and they're doing it for the CCP and part two, the cameras on the social credit scores, which I thought was crazy, and that enough was to turn me off to it. I mean, if Ripple came up and they told us, hey, like, we're trying to change humanity for the worse, like, we want you to have the chip, that way all your crypto is attached to who you are, and you could spend it in the store, and it'll just be in the chip in your arm, I would be turned off to that too. That's a bad idea. I don't want that. No, I want to be anonymous with my shit sometimes, man. I mean, the fact that you can't bring over $10,000 to the bank at once without them asking questions, when banks start accepting crypto, what are you going to do? You're just going to fucking go in there with some big bag and be like, hey, here I am, Mr. Big Nuts. They're like, whoa, dude, where'd all this come from? You know, you're going to have to then report it all. That sounds insane, dude. That sounds like a nightmare, okay? I don't know what the answer is, man. I don't. I'm excited to see what happens in the next 10 years, though, because the fact is that 10 years is getting close to being 100 years in terms of the growth of technology. And what does that mean for the future of banking, man? We know that things are going to change. What does that mean for the future of video games, music, film, Government efficiency. I think GALA is going to play a role in some of it. We know that they got that three-headed beast, which is the GALA ecosystem, GALA Film, GALA Music, GALA Games. But now they're positioning themselves politically to use GALA chain to help with efficiency. I mean, sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit. I'm happy to be here playing crypto, man. I'm happy to be here early enough, man, where I'm early to the party and it's still up for grabs. You know, somebody commented on a video the other day and they said XRP is going to 20 cents. You guys are children. I thought it was funny. I gave a speech back in 2017 in a business law class at a community college. I gave a presentation on cryptocurrency. And there was somebody in the room, and this was at the beginning of my journey. I was really starting to FOMO in, and I had bought the top of the crypto bag, and everything was going down, falling sword, but it didn't stop me from buying. I mean, this might have been 2018. This might have been a year later, full bear market. Forget when I was in this class. It was 2017 or 2018. The point is, though, is I did this presentation on crypto because we were talking about regulations, technology and regulations, and I was able to twist the project's arm to talk about what I want to talk about. That's what you got to do to life, man. Find something important, find something where there's money, and twist its arm so that you can get your shit out of it. All right. So I'm in this class. I do this presentation on cryptocurrency, and this girl raises her hand in the back, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you got a question? Fine, go for it, you know? And her question is a statement. And the statement is that she thinks Bitcoin's going to zero. And I said, that's fine, but just know this. People used to say that Amazon would never overtake Barnes & Noble. Bam. That's where I left the presentation, okay? It was a mic drop moment. Everyone was like, whoa, dude, yeah. I don't know what anyone took from that. I'm sure everyone was asleep. This was the same class I've talked about on this channel that before the final, we had kids walking up before the final saying, hey, just flunk the final purposely. We're going to call the dean and we're going to make sure it's all written off because this is total bullshit. I asked the kid, I said, dude, did you study it all? He was like, no, I called everybody. I spent all day organizing. I was like, dude, what's going on, man? It was the easiest class. I swear to God, it was so easy. If you read the questions, you could be like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense logically. That's not business law. That's against the law. That's the opposite of business law. And you know I'm full of shit, man. So if I can figure it out, you can too. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. I think big things are coming in the crypto market, man. I'm fucking excited to see it. Until next time, guys, stay well.